And so what goes into each of these sections of the final submission? Regarding the digital prototype, as we mentioned before, it's going to be your complete content turned into a digital version of what you entered in the prototype paper. And the kinds of things I'm going to be looking at has to do with the content, the presentation of the content, especially including layout, that it uses the recommendations from Horton in organizing your material. The appearance, we talked about different things related to appearance, the use of colors, the contrast between the foreground and background colors. I'm not going to be focusing on whether I like your combination of colors or hate it. That's not going to be something I'll focus on. I will just focus on issues that would distract the learner from being able to learn. And the use of media, that you have incorporated media that are helpful for learning that particular topic and not media that will be distracting. I'm also going to be looking at navigation, and as we've mentioned, we want navigation to be consistent and predictable. And finally, functionality. Everything in there has to work. Links must go somewhere. Images must load. Downloadable papers must be available there, present. Permissions need to be set if you have documents that are stored in another location, so that I am able to see the documents when I'm evaluating, because when you have students trying to complete activities, you need to have those documents available as well. And regarding that final report, you have a bunch of questions there that you can answer, and what I've done is that I've grouped them in several areas so that you know what sections your final report should have. First and foremost, you should have a link to your digital module with any instructions that would be necessary to access. For example, if there's a username and a password, you have to make it available for me to be able to go in and evaluate. Then you're going to have a large section talking about your development process and your reflection on this. So you provide an overview of what the process was like for you, what things worked well and what didn't, the key decisions or changes that you made along the process. What would you do differently, or what would you do the same if you were to do it again, and why? And for someone who was tackling a similar project, what recommendations you would have based on this? How applicable is this experience to future projects, and why? Another section of your final report is going to be a formative evaluation, and you have a form that you can use on the page for the discussion for last week. And what we want to see here is a summary of the results, and then what things you would change based on those outcomes of the formative evaluation. And then the last piece is going to be Merrill again. So Merrill's rating applied this time to your digital prototype, to your reflection on how well it fares against Merrill's instructional design rating. So we have a lot of work left to do, but we're almost there, and I'm looking forward to seeing your work, and I'll be excited to be able to share with you in celebrating our accomplishments.